Friends, thank you so much for tuning in today. Every year on December 1st, Donalyn Miller writes a Nerdy Book Club Nerdiversary post where she does a call for the Nerdy Book Club Awards. And I get so excited, and then I get very stressed out because I have to decide which books to nominate. So I thought it'd be fun to make a few videos and share what books I am nominating for different categories. Today, I'm going to share my favorite is tough. The category that is close to my heart. Today we're going to be talking about middle grade fiction. I'm going to share with you the 5 books that I'm going to nominate for the Nerdy Book Club Middle Grade Fiction Award. Are you ready? Let's go. This has been agonizing. I have just poured over my Goodreads account. Every year I create a year nerdy, so it says 2018 nerdy, 2019 nerdy, and I put books throughout the year that I'm reading into that folder that I might nominate for Nerdy Book Club Awards. And then I look at it, and I had like 15 novels that I wanted to nominate, 15 middle grade novels, and I've narrowed it down to 5. Now, there are so many books that I also want to nominate, and there's a lot of books that win this award, so I'm hoping that some of my favorites win. But I'm going to share with you just my 5. I'm no cheating. These 5 books are the 5 books that I'm going to be nominating. First up is Jennifer L. Holmes' The Third Mushroom, a companion to The 14th Goldfish, which I just dug out of my classroom library. The 14th Goldfish, companion. That's good branding right there. Check out that color palette. Beautiful. I don't usually read sequels or companion books. I'm more of a first book in a series type of guy. But Ellie and Melvin's story in this was just too much for me. I just loved it too much. I love them so much that I just had to visit them again. And Melvin is back. He leaves us in book 1 to kind of go out and find himself. He has like reversed aging, so he's a grandfather now living in an 8th grade body. He goes to school with his granddaughter, lives with his daughter. I love it. And he's back, and Ellie and Melvin are doing the science fair together. Ellie also has this friend that is a boy that she is just super good friends with, and I just am super fascinated. Can I say that? Super fascinated by the way that Jenny handles that relationship, and it kind of turns out differently than I anticipated, and I love it. I think it's really important for kids to read and to see. The Third Mushroom definitely being nominated by me. Book number 2, The Night Diary by Vera Hiranandani. I love this book. Nisha is a girl who, it takes place during the partition in, I think, the 1940s. I knew nothing about that, like zero, zilch, nada. And then I read this book. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is such an important moment in history that I knew nothing about. And what a great way for kids to be introduced to history and important things in history through historical fiction writing. And this book is just beautiful. Nisha's story is one that I just love. There's a scene, anytime I tell people about it, I always tell them about this scene in the book where Nisha is, I think they're at her uncle's house, and she's looking out the window, and she sees someone there who can play, and she's supposed to be high. And I don't know what it is about that scene, but it's probably my favorite scene of the year. If I had to pick a Newbery book that I would say, man, that book could win the Newbery Medal. This is the one. And if it doesn't win the Newbery, if it's not even like honored by the committee, it doesn't change anything. It is still a beautiful, distinguished book. But The Night Diary for me, one of the best books of the year. Love it so much. Next up is Jonathan Auxier's Sweep, the story of a girl and her monster. I love this book. I feel like it's timeless. I feel like the girl in this character and her monster and just the way that their friendship develops and just the craziness of this story. I think that kids who love reading, who come to you loving reading, this will be a book that you can hand them and they will fall even deeper in love with reading. And I think that this will be the book that a lot of kids remember when they're adults. I think it's that good. I think it'll stay with them forever. And I just won the Charlotte Huck Award from NCTE. I was in the room when that happened. Jonathan was in the room. It was pretty cool to experience. Sweet. Next up is Saving Winslow by Sharon Creech. Just watching this book work magic in my class is a big reason that I added. I love this. I love so much of Sharon's work. But just to see so many of my kids find this accessible, so many of my 5th graders fall in love with these characters and just devour this book has made me feel like I needed to nominate it for Nerdy, because that's kind of what Nerdy is all about. Every reader having value and voice in our community, and this book this book has done some special things with my students. Next up is Love, Sugar Magic, and a Dash of Trouble by Anna Mariano. I did not think that I was going to nominate. Like, if you would have had me like guess 5 books without like looking at all the books I read, I don't think that I would have thought that this would have been one of the 5 books. But when I saw it, and then I thought about the conversations I've had with the kids who have read it, and I thought about how much just like the characters have stayed with me, how much I like really want to, even though I don't usually read sequels, how much I'm just curious to know what happens in the next book. I really love this book. So I'm not surprised because it's not an amazing book. I just didn't expect this to be one of my 5, but it definitely is because it's a great book, and I have loved talking to kids who have read this book. I love the magic. It's a dash of trouble. I love the magic in this book. So I want to know, what 2018 middle grade novels did you love with all your heart? Which ones are you considering nominating for Nerdy Book Club Awards? Please let me know. Please go to Nerdy Book Club and nominate your favorite books, because when we create strong, diverse books, a strong, diverse book list that have tons of great books, then other teachers and other librarians can see those and get those books into the hands of kids. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for commenting down below. Have an awesome-tastic day, and happy, happy reading.